Welcome back to Casual Gamer Oz as we move into the final round of Season 8 here in F1 2017 Career Mode Abu Dhabi. Let's get straight into qualifying. You don't need to hear me talk. Best qualifying here is, of course, 5th, which we achieved this time last season. And reminding everybody who's tuning in for the very first time, it's the only Grand Prix here in Casual Gamer Oz that we've never won. So we've already won everything this year, constructors, drivers. We've won 15 races this season, scored the most points we've ever scored in a single season. So we've got nothing really to gain here except to try and tick off the one remaining Grand Prix on our bucket list that we are yet to win here in Casual Gamer Oz. So that's what we're pushing for here. We have a new rival, and no surprise, it's Valtteri Bottas. They just keep giving us the Mercedes drivers, so I'd like them to give me Vettel. That would be an interesting one. I think you only get your teammate when you first sign to a new team, which is a bit silly. But, you know, maybe they'll give us a Red Bull if they perform a little bit better. And speaking of performing a little bit better, you obviously saw us whack that upgrade onto the car, which won't be ready to Australia. But in the meantime, Mercedes have overtaken us too. So we're now actually technically the third best car in the field. Overall, that is. We've got the fastest engine. And whatever happened to our chassis and aerodynamic advantage, which I haven't looked at those compartments yet, but yeah, we're no longer the official fastest car, best overall car in the field. We are the third best, but only just by a tiny amount. And I'm sure our engine update, when it gets strapped in time for Australia for our next season, we will find ourselves back at the top of the field. And we should also have enough points in the off season to put in another upgrade just ahead of the opening round of the season. We are going to find ourselves in third. Our best ever qualifying here in Abu Dhabi. As we look, as I said, to get our very first race win. Alrighty. We know it's not going to be a wet one. Never rains here in Abu Dhabi. And even if it does, well, we get ourselves some bonus points because you get a trophy or something for racing in the desert or some random shit I noticed on the achievement screen. Got a yawn for you. Excuse me. And we might put in a new engine just for shits and gigs, because we can use that to the best of our ability. Win this race, 16th win of the season. We'll cross 400 points in total for the year, and we will also win the Abu Dhabi. What's the wrong button? The Abu Dhabi race for the very first time, of course. That's the main one. So I'll just double check that this won't give me... Whoa. No penalty. Alright, good. That's good. What is the wear like? 42. Right. Just don't mind me as I look at the percentages there. Make everything nice and fresh. And let us go to El Ratio. El Ratio? That's a thing? Apparently... Alrighty, can we close out our World Championship winning year by winning the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix for the very first time? In our last World Championship winning year, we finished second here. So, there's a stat for you.
We're almost ready to go.
It's very great. I said it never rains here, but you'll be able to tell that with the sky there. So we prep ourselves. Let's do this. Don't have the inside. That's alright. Rich mode. Don't have a lot in reserve. We'll do a light little move across here. Not a chop. But, whoa, Vettel, a very good start. Very good start from Seb Vettel. Whoa, and we're going to damage the front wing, Ben. That's not what you want. You do want to take the lead, though. That's good. Whoa. I was paying attention to my map there and not looking overall where we were in terms of the circuit. I'm just going to creep around that bit there. And we're going to creep up the straight here. I don't want to change the strategy, please, Jeff, because, again, it's a 5-lap race, so it's not going to amount to jack shit. Car actually doesn't feel that bad for a red end plate that's damaged. Usually red means steers terribly, but we're actually steering, funnily enough, okay here at the moment. But famous last words, really. And saying about the car not handling that badly. Shut up, Jeff. I don't even know what he's talking about. This will be the test of how the car steers. You can feel a little bit of understeer in it, but not as bad as it usually is. Kind of was paying too much attention to Vettel to really kind of take in that overtaking manoeuvre. So, yeah. Obviously, it was a good start by us to take the lead. So we now cross the line for our opening lap. A 1:47. Pretty decent time there. Just sneak it through. Whoa, okay, now I'm starting to really feel the steering on this car. Oh, no, 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 Seb, no. Let your teammate win. Come on, I've never won here before. Please, Seb. Well, I think we've collided there, have we? We have. The hand goes up usually only when you touch wheels. Anyway, you pull ahead a lot here on the straight. And in this section here where obviously you don't want to hit the curbs because they do launch you up. Well, this is a circuit of two halves, Abu Dhabi. First part of it I really, really like, and I won't say it's easy, but it's just nice sweeping straight, bit of a chicane, and then that's it. And as we enter this section, it really kind of turns into a more technical part of the track, which is often where we're the slowest. So we always lose the time. I mean, if you're watching qualifying, we're in pole position until we get to this part of the circuit. It's generally always the case too, wherever we qualify here. Under the really fancy hotel, of course. It's a hotel that I would love to stay in one day, as I'm sure most F1 fans would. And then this last bit here is very similar to Russia, the part that I hate at the end, but harder than Russia. It's tighter than Russia. As we cross the line, we briefly set the fastest lap. Romain Grosjean takes the fastest lap. Okay. Romain, Lewis and Seb getting very racy with each other. That's what we needed to do last year. Well, Vettel's got a huge... Hamilton, I should say, has got a huge run on me there. That's where I really feel the damage to the front wing is through that section there. Running myself wide. Still holding on. Keep holding on. Ben, just don't sing. Just don't sing, Ben. You really have to learn not to sing. They don't want to hear you sing, Ben. They don't want to hear you sing. Apologies for the singing. Alright. We are going to push ourselves out here. This would be a much better turn one, would it not? That's obviously another part of the circuit where they have races. Maybe a shortened Abu Dhabi, I'm not too sure there. Different categories have their pitch straight there, as opposed to where they do here for the Formula One. Just hold on to it there. We've got the Waterworth train behind us. It's Mercedes, a Ferrari, Mercedes, and then I think that's Verstappen and not Ricciardo hanging on to 5th place. I think Massa in 6th as well, the best of the rest. So we come on through here. Penultimate lap time of Abu Dhabi, penultimate lap of the season. Esteban Ocon sets the fastest lap. But a proverbial who's who here in terms of what random driver can set the fastest lap that isn't in the top 4. It's very rare to see that. If only that was the case more so in qualifying, have a bit more of a scattered grid and scattered positions. One of the race modes that I did, sort of the only one that I've really done that I haven't recorded for you guys. They have all these different championship modes outside of career mode, and one of them is like this sprint championship. It's actually quite fun. It's 5-lap races similar to this, but you just choose a team, and it's sort of the first race is randomized grid, and then there's 5 different races. I think it's Austria, Belgium. Oh god, I've gone blank. Anyway, there's 5 different races. Suzuka, I'm pretty sure, is one of them. And essentially, after the first race, it's a reverse grid of championship order, so that makes it really interesting. And then every single Grand Prix, the starting grid is reversed from the where the championship is in terms of the standings. So pretty much, you only do it for 5 races, and each of the races that I did, I think there was a different winner. I mean, you had like, you know, Marcus Ericsson winning a Grand Prix and stuff like that, and just everybody was getting points. Every team was getting points. It was great. It was a lot of fun. So I might do one of them just as a side one, perhaps after I've done all these career mode ones here. Oh, no, 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 no. Got to win this race yet, Ben. Stop sidetracking yourself. Last lap. Last lap of a very successful Season 8. Can we hold on to win our very first Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and push ourselves over the 400-point barrier, as this would be our 16th Grand Prix win of the season, breaking the record by 3 in what has been our 2nd ever Drivers' Championship, our first for Ferrari, of course, and our first non-flashback season, except for Azerbaijan. But as we know, I've basically won a championship. Well, I'm 3 wins clear at the moment, so I'm going to win it by 3 races. So even if you took that one into equation in Azerbaijan, I would have won it by 2 races. So it's yeah, justified itself in the end, essentially, my dominance this year. And I know you're going to say reduce the difficulty, but I think we might just keep it. I don't know. Let's see how I feel. We've only got a few corners to go here, and get ready to celebrate the last Grand Prix of the year, the last Grand Prix that we've never won on this game. We will officially have ticked off every single race. 2 of them maybe not in the most legitimate manner when it came to Japan and Monaco, but we'll still take it. We can hold on in this last section here. I'm going to break myself very early to make sure that I can. And into this part. It's been a very successful season for us, and Abu Dhabi joins the collection. There we go. Season over. Season done. Well, we can relax now, right? I think so. Maurizio, yep.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers.
And for the very first time in Abu Dhabi, we can punch the air in celebration. And we get that trophy for the very first time.
Our current points leader
And we will.
Have to give it to Lewis Hamilton. You know,
Lewis Hamilton, driver of the day. He started 2nd and finished 1st. And oh god, what a crock of shit. Anyway, let's click standings. And so we finished the season on 410 points. Easily the most we've ever done. We only, think about it, maximum 500 points for the year, so we only lost out on 90 points for the entire season. Crazy. Vettel gets 2nd for the 2nd consecutive year, 325 points. He also gets a win clear there of Hamilton. Bottas looked likely he could be the championship challenger, but he actually drops to 4th in the last race. A very successful year by him. Ricciardo 5th, Massa 6th ahead of Verstappen in 7th, Perez 8th, Grosjean in 9th, Lance Stroll, good year for him, 31 points, 10th, Ocon 11th, Magnussen 12th, Hulkenberg 13th, Alonso 14th, Palmer 15th, and no scores for Van Dorn, Kvyat, Sainz, Verline, Ericsson. And once again, the team that I drove for and won a world championship with can't even use their most powerful engine to any advantage. Constructors, well, we dominate, 735 points. We win by 150 points over Mercedes. Red Bull 3rd, Williams 4th, Force India 5th, Haas 6th, Renault 7th, McLaren 8th, and Toro Rosso Sauber no points. So disappointing to see that. But if we advance through here, we'll close out this season and just take a look at a few things as we move forward into Season 9, our penultimate season. Obviously, we're going to stay with Ferrari. We're not going to change teams. Not that we'll get an offer. I don't think we've been as consistent as we would have liked. So this year, 2 retirements. We had 3 last year, so 2. And I do believe that'll be 17 total points finishers, if I'm not mistaken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yep. And obviously, we're not getting an offer here, as you can see in the background there. 934 research points, so we've already got our bonus. Only 683 points, thought we'd get more than that, but never mind. Drawing our rivalry. Obviously, our reputation not high enough, even though we win the World Championship. No one wants to try and poach us away. Fair enough. We're delighted to announce your performance has been above expectations. First in the Championship, you and your team enough points, first in Constructors. Taking that. Cool. Now, so what we're going to do here, just before we close out the season, obviously we know we've got that big engine upgrade, but we've got 942 points. We've done what we can in the engine capacity, so we've got 12 out of 20 on the chassis and 15 out of 26. Let's go with the chassis, I say. Because we're 1, 2, 3, 4th. Where are we on the aero? 3rd. No, let's do chassis. So we've got a 1,050 point upgrade there. We have a 1,050 upgrade there. A 1,050. A 700. Or a 1,400. 1,400. 700. 1050. Well, we generally like to do it in order, don't we? So that's a 4-weeker. As opposed to a 2-weeker. We don't have enough, obviously, to go up there, do we? Either way, it's going to be 4 weeks. We have to wait, and that can just get done, can't it? And then we can build it up. Bugger, we're just missing out by like whatever points. Oh, we may as well just whack that on as well. I mean, it doesn't really do a whole lot, but whatever. Alright, so next season. Look at that. First, 5th, first, DNF, 11th, first, DNF, first. Team performance, well, we're technically 3rd overall, but anyway. We became the first driver for Ferrari, which is good. And we won 16 out of 20 Grand Prix. I think we can win at least 18 this year. What do you reckon? No pressure? No pressure on us at all? None. I don't know what you're talking about. None at all. So we just wait for this to come on through. Anytime today would be nice. And we're going in here.
Oh, there you are.
Hello, Chris.
So we're done fitting the next big upgrade.
Cool.
The test results look great.
Great.
The only one left to check it out is you. So
Thanks. I'm glad you're telling me this in the very first race of the season, and all the off-season it didn't happen, so...
hopefully it lives up
Yep.
to expectations.
And I just showed up to the circuit on a Friday on practice day. Of course, I didn't arrive on a Wednesday for any other team meetings or anything. So there's our ultimate increase there. 13.85, wow. And our engine cover, great. New season, we're looking forward to what you can bring. So, we'll close this season out by just having a look at where we stand. And we're still behind Red Bull, actually. That's a bit disappointing on the overall scheme of things, but we're completely full on the old powertrain. The chassis there and the engine there. Cool. So if we look at the powertrain, we are significantly ahead of Toro Rosso. Oh my goodness. Williams and Red Bull dropped down. McLaren, look how bad they are meanwhile. So that's interesting. And chassis-wise, we move up into, well, still 3rd. Yep. And aero, we have dropped to 4th, which kind of fascinates me slightly. What could have we done in the aero? 1350, 1350, 1350, 900, 900, 1350, 1800, 1800. Yeah, a lot to go. But anyway, that's the end of Season 8. Thank you for tuning in. We're world champions, obviously. And we're very much happy with what we've done in terms of result-wise. You can like, subscribe, and comment as we prepare for our penultimate season here on Casual Gamer Oz. Thank you for tuning in. We'll speak to you in Season 9. Good night.